Brown Girl Banter.
It's me, your girl, Dr. Dangerfield.
And it is me, Dr. Patience. And hope all's well.
Yep.
It's been a month. Look at us. We all consistent on y'all.
I know.
Ready?
I know y'all taking it, but like, what? They are taping consistently, and y'all look, we're in another space. I was thinking as I was driving here, I was like, it's a good thing that I trust Dr. Patience because I only get an address and say, this is where we're meeting. And so I just follow the directions. I send it to Riley. I'm like, this is where we're going to be. But here we are today.
Hey, I never fail her. I always make sure we're safe. We got a good location.
Yes.
You know, we make it work. So here we are, somewhere new today. I love it. It's fun.
It is.
It's
fun.
super fun to go to the different places and take from there and give y'all a different aesthetic look every time we are together. So we're glad to be here with you for another taping and another episode of Brown Girl Banter. How you been, girl? What's going on?
Girl, let's see. I was trying to think this, well, not this month because we're in a new month. April, spent a lot of time hanging out with family and just doing some reflection because, in April was my 34th year as being a Delta.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
Congratulations.
And I talked to Candace, and she was like, "You know, I could be your child because she turned. You know, her birthday was coming up, but it's on the same day. But then the other piece is just doing some reflection.
Nice.
Trying to figure out what it is really that I'm supposed to be doing in this season. And I know we talk about this every month. I'm getting closer. And like yesterday was 9 years in business, and I'm like,
it's amazing.
I don't know. When my mom asked me, she said, well, how does it feel? I was like, I think I still seem like I'm about to start. Like, I was like, tomorrow I'm starting this adventure again.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty, though, of this profession, though. Like, you can take so many avenues with it. So, like, if you get kind of tired in one space or you feel like you tapped out, you can shift gears and head in a different direction. And so it never gets boring.
No.
I mean, it can get boring, but you can always switch it up and do something different.
Something new.
So that's really cool about that.
What you been up to?
What have I been up to? I feel like this month has been super crazy hectic. Just as a family unit, Omari's birthday, and Zuri, my oldest, is a soccer star. So been like soccer momming it and doing all the things that come along with that, which has been fun. I've enjoyed that. And then my niece went to prom, and so it's just that time of year, that season. And so just really been busy, I feel like running around, doing family stuff. You know, I feel like the practice just kind of runs itself right now, so that's fun and not fun. But, you know, it's been really good. I think just trying to find rest where I can. I think that's super important, and been doing that. But overall, it's been good. Funny, I think that was this month I dropped my video of my husband on my professional life as a hot seat. So realizing he knows nothing about y'all saw that on my page. My husband, shame Omari if you're looking at this right now. He is begging me to do a redo video
because he said he has to redo himself.
That wasn't fair. He said, but if you look at it on Facebook, all the husbands were like, I'm team husband. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all are a mess. So,
but you know they have to stick together.
They have to stick together. But so just kind of running around being busy, trying to pour into all these little people's lives and keep myself together at the same time. That's really all that's been going on with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but all good.
Yeah,
I don't have any complaints. Trying to get y'all back healthy. I'm about to start trying to work out consistently again.
Yeah.
So when you see me out in them streets, to encourage my soul. Be like, girl, you get on that Peloton today? Talk to me now. Hold me accountable. I'm making y'all my accountability partners out there.
Okay.
Because that's the only way I'm going to stick to it.
Okay.
I give you permission.
Okay.
To hold me accountable.
So,
yes.
What's your hot topic for the month for this episode?
I was gonna push you to give your hot topic first, but I took a sip of my coffee because your hot topic sounds interesting, and I was just talking about my niece.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that segues.
Yeah, I was thinking, and I was like, it actually has been kind of quiet this last month leading up to there about things that are happening. You know, we were looking for celebrity stuff, but it's been kind of quiet. So, but I was something that came across my feed, and it's like two things that came across was one, and we're in prom season, and just the decisions that individuals make and what they're going to wear, because that's fashion.
Oh
that's
Lord,
fashion.
I've been doing my niece.
Yeah.
They sent me at least 7 pictures.
Yes.
At
Trying
the
to find
prom
a dress.
shop getting that dress together.
Yes,
So
because they don't want to look like some, they don't want nobody else to have that dress on. But there's been 2 situations. One, a young lady and a young man. They both dressed to the nines, but her dress, the back of her dress, her whole it had some material, but her whole behind was showing. Okay. And so people were like, "Oh, is that appropriate? Where are we doing that at?" And just that choice of like exposing yourself to the public.
I feel like, now y'all know me, it would be fake for me and Dr. Pentrill to sit here and act like we don't talk when we was playing on this camera.
Right.
So we was just together.
Right.
And we were talking about this whole thing of like modesty, like loving yourself, loving your body, embracing it, but also where is there some kind of, where's that line? Where's that line fall? And like, y'all know, I talk about my girls all the time, like, how do I mean, now they're going to see it whether I want them to or not. Expose. There's no like, I get to expose them to things. Like, I have accepted that society will expose them to things whether I'm ready or not. And it's like, yes, I get to pick and choose what my child gets to do, but it's also like, come on now. Like, is there any kind of, I don't want her to have to see that and me having to be explaining why your booty out in your prom dress.
Or the question of, should I do that to be with my peers? Exactly. So that was one of them, but the other one was a story that like really kind of touched my heart, because I was like, oh my God, the idea of making a decision that can cost you some life choices. And the other is the young lady that they said she's straight A student, had gotten a full ride to college, but she took a prom picture and she was holding 2 guns in her hand. And so she got expelled from school.
She did. And
she lost her scholarship. So that decision, the one thing I was thinking, I was like, was that her idea, or somebody, in the moment said, hey, it would be cool for you to do blah, blah, blah. And then she did it, but not realizing what it was going to cost. So it's, so it's costing you your reputation, your education, some parts of your future, because she can rebound back from it, which I hope she does, but it's that whole thing of you remove, and it seemed like maybe it was not her character.
Yeah, I mean, I was really torn, and y'all have to put comments on YouTube or Instagram, wherever. I was torn by this one because we the right to bear arms, and we remove permits, and we have seen many of pictures going around with people holding guns and taking pictures and doing whatever. And I wasn't sure. I mean, unless there's a bylaw that is in her school's code of conduct,
which it probably is,
in the school in which she was receiving the scholarship, that she wasn't out shooting at people. I mean, now granted, they weren't hunting rifles either. She ain't going to get no deer or something like that. Assault rifles. But I was like, was she doing harm to anyone?
Yeah.
By those pictures? Would I choose to do that? No. Would I want my daughter to do that? No. But that's my belief system. That's my parenting style. That's kind of how I get down. But I was like, I wonder what were the parameters in which they had the right even to take those things away from her.
Well, I think with the scholarship, it's more so she's not going to get to graduate. So
I'm gonna have to read that story. If y'all know, let us know.
Yeah, she will. She got expelled. So being so close to the end of the school year, being expelled means you don't graduate. They're saying she's not gonna get to graduate, and all of that. So that impacts whether you can
get your scholarship or not. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm really torn about that story.
Yeah.
I really felt like, I agree, the split decision part of it is real, but I'm also like, okay, y'all, you know, I mean, like, is she a threat of going and shooting up the school? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Which we don't.
Yeah.
And it seems like she was not.
Yeah.
Seems like, you know, she was a straight A student. She was a good student, you know, that she was doing, you know, doing really well. So, you know, is it that, you know, made a decision? And we all have made decisions that we would go back and say, oh, I shouldn't have done it. Because, like, as we know, all decisions come with consequences, whether good or bad. So,
that is something. So I don't know. I mean, y'all comment on that. I think that one was really interesting to me too, especially because so much has been going on with gun laws lately and things of that sort. And I was just interested that they went to that point of like reprimanding her to that extent.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that she was going to a HBCU and that's who took it from her.
Yeah.
But I mean,
like I said, it goes back to
if the domino effect is what's happening here,
that's what it
then
sounds
that's
like.
what it is.
That's what it
I get
sounds
that.
like. Yeah.
Wow. So my hot topic is, you know, speaking of all of the political stuff that's happening with gun laws or just in general, you know, I'm not as much as I used to be a Masked Singer fan.
Oh, okay.
So
I haven't watched it in a while.
Me either. And I was like, but I'll catch a couple of episodes because they'll have some like cool people. And I'm always surprised, like the time Tony Braxton got voted off before somebody else. I was like, kind of like, this doesn't make sense. Yeah. But recently I found it interesting because this is the catch-22 of being a therapist, y'all. Like, we always see the two sides to the story. Like, you know, like it's always that, you know. And when people are like, I live in black and white, we have a tendency to be able to live in that gray and kind of be comfortable in that gray. Everybody can't do that. But so Rudy Giuliani was one of the contestants that got unmasked and left, you know, after a lot of other people. But anyway, but once he was, Ken and Robin both walked off the stage.
Okay, once they revealed it.
They were outdone. They were like outdone. And so people, you know, I've turned into a Twitter crazy person. I'm all like, Twitter went crazy. And it was both sides. It was kind of like, has the Masked Singer gotten this desperate for people that they would bring out this particular person who has broken these laws and done these things, you know, been a part of the insurrection, you know, just all of that type of stuff. And then there were people like who was like how immature and whatever it was of Ken and Robert to walk away. It's only okay when it's people you like or that you think okay, and then if it's not, then you leave the stage and and I thought that was so interesting because of course my first mind was kind of like, really, y'all picked Rudy Giuliani to come on the show? But then I'm like, Rudy got bills.
True, he does.
Rudy got bills. Rudy needs to be on the show.
It may have been his dream to sing in public.
And to sing it. And I was like, you know, I mean, do they not? I mean, I was like, I think that to me, it just was such a representation of how divided we are. Yeah. That we can't even tolerate the person being up on the stage or something.
But the other thing is think too about ratings.
True. I didn't even think about that. The drama. It makes me think of that LeBron meme where he get his little bag and he like start walking off. Like that's kind of how they were. I'm taking my purse and I'm out of here. And I was like, you know, it's this. Some people are like, I'm never watching it again. Like Twitter just kind of went crazy. And I'm like, you know, we can't even watch a show together. Things that used to unite us even as a country, as a population.
People would talk about certain shows and everybody like Ollie and like Scandal.
Yes.
How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
This Is Us.
Yes. I mean, even reality ones like American Idol or whatever.
Yeah.
We can't even do that anymore.
Yeah, we talk about different
because
things.
We are so divided in our beliefs or our expectations or the accountability or how we hold each other. I was like, man, I don't know if we're ever coming back.
I don't know.
It's pretty sad.
It is.
But I got my girl, so I'm not sad. I'm good. So, you know, y'all tell us what y'all thought about that. What did you think? Where do you think we are as a state of a country, even with being able to tolerate one another?
One another in spaces.
Yes. And I mean, is it their responsibility as celebrities to be okay with that, even if it goes against their belief system? I don't know. Just like Kiki. Did you hear about Kiki Palmer? Side note, y'all. She put on Twitter, this lady asked her for a picture, and she said no, and the lady took a picture anyway. And she was like, no means no, even if it's in any situation or circumstance. And Black Twitter went off on her too.
Because they said she's a celebrity, she shouldn't.
But do we hold them to different standards and expectations?
Because we think that they should, but think about if you don't want your personal friends, you like, girl, don't take that picture. Don't put that picture on Facebook.
Yeah, but you ain't worth no money either.
But
I mean, I agree. But it was a whole big debate about that. So I think that's interesting.
But she has a right to say no.
She does. And that lady had no, I feel like didn't have a right to take her picture.
Because she asked her not to.
No. We preach that no is still an answer.
Right.
So I found that very interesting too. Celebrities. Y'all know I love some celebrity drama. That brings me a little joy. It's my escape. Speaking of escaping, of connected or disconnected, right, from the reality or what is, you gonna hold your glass?
Yeah,
clink.
Because we want y'all to see.
So one of the things we want to the thing we want to really focus in on our topic today is, we called it the art of comparison. I don't know about you, but a lot of what I have, especially for my entrepreneurs or people who are kind of like trying to pursue something or develop something or build something, even if they already have a full-time job, it's like this art of comparison on social media or
that pulls people down.
It does. And the dangers of that comparison, like the mental health dangers of the art of comparison. I think that's something I really wanted to hone in on today, and we really wanted to talk to you all about, because some of y'all are out there now going through y'all feed and like, oh, how's she doing that? Why he got that? Why I can't do that? Why my business not doing that?
And the thing is, we have to realize that information, and this is something I always try to remind the entrepreneurs that I work with, is remember, they're only showing you what they want you to see. That's curated content. And I was like, they're not going to show you the behind the scenes of when they're up at night trying to make ends meet, or when that beautiful thing that they said, oh, I got a new house, but then things fall apart because they're not getting the money that they thought they would get.
Yes.
And it's like, so are they dealing with that whole anxiety and depression of being an entrepreneur? And so being able to look at that, it's like we all have our own spin and our own walk. We're not trying to be same. So when you're comparing yourself, that means you're saying to yourself, I'm not good enough. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But I am learning, because I've been guilty of it myself. I'm learning, like, okay, God called me to do something else, but he also put his my own unique spin on what I'm supposed to be doing, even when it looks like somebody else's.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And that's hard for me, I'm like, often find it hard to explain that to people, because you get to create your own narrative.
Yes. And social media has allowed that.
Yes, and you get to create your own narrative in your head.
Yes.
Like, so you can I can say, now, Sheila is just showing you what Sheila wants you to see. But the brain is a memory chip. It does what it wants to do. And so you hear me, but you still are like, but she does have this and she is doing that. And I know it's not real, but then people just really berate themselves and internalize
that critical voice.
Yes, that narrative is so negative. And so really trying to get people to redirect that. But here's the thing. And I know that you have a great answer for this, and I feel like I know it. It's just like, why is it that we only want people to see this false narrative on social media? Why can't we be our true selves on there?
Because, one, that we fight that battle internally of, am I good enough? So not being able to show, you're thinking that your authentic self is not good enough. But we also live in a society where on one side it says, be yourself, show up, but then you have these rules of conformity.
Yeah, that's true. That's the word. That's true.
And it's like, but you need to conform to this. So people are afraid to show their true self because, one, they don't know how it's going to be accepted. Because connection and belonging is an innate feeling for us all. We all want to belong, and we all want to connect with other people. So if you are too far out there, people gonna be like, oh, I ain't gonna connect with you because you're too far. But if you conform, it's like, but I want to hear your voice. So people stand in this position of, do I show you my true self, and are you gonna accept me for my true self? Or do I conform to who you want me to be? And the other piece is, growing up, we know, when we were our true selves, when we were little girls, our little boys, when we were like our true self, like 2-3 years old, our parents would tell us things to do to make us conform, which sometimes a lot of times tap down our unique self. And then when we get in our 30s, 40s, and 50s, we're searching for who we are. And you're like, oh, I was my most authentic self when I was 3 years old. So you look at this picture, because our personalities really, and we've read in our studies that our personalities are usually set around that age. Because I think about my goddaughter, she's 2. Her personality is off the chain. And so, but and I also see how her parents are like, oh, you shouldn't do that. But she is so like herself. And I'm like, don't tell her not to be herself. Because then she's going to wake up in her 20s, 30s, and 40s. Either she's had other people define who she is, or she's like, oh, I don't like the person I have become. So, we have to nurture that in ourselves. So nurturing that little girl in you to say, okay, when you were 2, who were you? And the door just opened. That's funny.
This door just opened. Y'all saw that, didn't y'all? That was spooky.
Ooh. Okay, we're going to leave that at that. But your thoughts?
Hold on, let me please some blood up in here.
All right.
Y'all probably like, yeah, Patience said, I like that. Oh, I'm taking all these places to ghosts start opening up doors. Supernatural spirits up in here.
We got demon is good. Good spirit. Good spirit. Welcome be a Holy Spirit.
Welcome into this place. No, I definitely agree with the vulnerability component of it. I think we just really struggle with who we are. And I think that is, we are scared to show up vulnerable. And I think that we do lose sight of the struggle. I think when we get to a certain space, it's okay to talk about the struggle. We just don't like to show the struggle.
Because that would mean you exposing yourself.
Yes, it's like, yes, I want to show you all of this good. And I think sometimes we do it to remind ourselves of all the good too. But I also feel like there is this part of us that forgets about, especially if you get those people who've like really gotten successful somewhere, like, I wouldn't say forgets. I think they just try to like push it away.
But then the other thing that happens when you think about the people that have a lot of success is that they end up, when they end up exposing that they're human,
they don't know what to do with it, and people don't know what to do.
People don't know what to do with it.
That is it.
And then it's like, oh my God, you have fallen. It's like, no, really, we have to get back to place. No, they're human. We have to remember that we all are human.
And I think that's the big piece of it. And I think you spoke to this because you're like, okay, so I do have some clients have a tendency to scroll. What can I do? And I always tell them, one, change your narrative. You're not them. They're not you. Change your narrative. But I also tell them, like, appreciate the journey.
Yes.
The journey is beautiful.
That's what life is about.
Yes.
Is appreciating your journey.
I was like, stop trying to end the journey so quickly. That's where you learn. That's where you grow. That's where you develop.
Remember, if you end the journey too quickly, that means you're no longer here. So,
hey, enjoy the journey.
Yeah, enjoy every bit of it.
Yes. And I think, look, you spoke the best to it, Dr. Gentry, and I think you should reiterate it. It's just this part about getting to know our inner self and who we are.
Yeah. Just, really asking yourself the questions. Because I'm a chaser of who am I until, I have to settle. I've asked that question of my therapist. I'm like, okay, I'm on this self-awareness journey. I'm trying to figure out who am I. And I've had 2 therapists like, who are you? Start from the very beginning. And it is like you as a believer, it's like I was created in the image of God, so I'm a creative being that was created in the image of God, and it's like, okay, so how does that display? And so reminding myself that my uniqueness, or reminding yourself that your uniqueness is what sets you apart, because our DNA is unique for a reason. Our gifts are here, placed inside of us for a reason. Our skill sets are things that we are attracted to, our personalities are placed inside of us for a reason. It's just like shaking it up and then letting it come out as who you are. And so being able to like connect to that little girl again and say, hey, at 2 or 3, what did I enjoy? What, who was I? Did I laugh? Did I talk? Was I the one that was always getting in trouble for talking too much?
Right.
And now you don't use your voice. You might want to start practicing using your voice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Find your voice and start practicing using it. That's amazing right there.
So,
and last but not least, stop scrolling.
Yes. Stop. If you
stop
scrolling, just scroll. Don't feed into it.
Yes, just stop it. If you feel yourself getting all worked up, just close the app.
Yeah. And
it's okay.
Find something else to do. Find something else to do. I do paint by numbers.
Hello, find something else.
Read a book.
It's my mom used to say, quit, just stop it.
Right. And find something else to do. Find something else. Get in there. What was it? You bored. Get in there and read a book.
Yes. And also, we're going to always tell you, if you find yourself in that comparison or getting down on yourself is starting to show itself in ways of anxiety or depression or things of that sort, obsessive thinking, compulsive behavior, anything of that sort, please reach out to a mental health professional. To get
a licensed mental health professional.
Please get a licensed mental health professional to help you manage whatever it is that you find yourself going through. Yeah. Okay, guys? Well, we always love spending time with you. We look forward to touching base with you in our next session. Therapist all
the
day.
Therapist
episode. Hey, we need y'all to do us a solid. You want to know what that solid is? Let them know what it is.
We need you to subscribe.
Hello.
To our YouTube channel, most definitely.
Share our YouTube channel.
And share. And as Dr. Patience said, if you can't watch it, just let it run in the back so you can hear.
Just let it run.
And then subscribe to our IG page.
Yes.
I am Brown Girl Banter.
Yes. And you can find Dr. Danger where?
On Instagram, I am Dr. Dangerfield.
You can find me on Instagram at I am Dr. Patience.
And you can find us as Brown Girl Banter on YouTube as Brown Girl, one word.
One word.
Space Banter.
That's it. She got it. So, we love y'all. We look forward to seeing y'all. Y'all take care. Bye, Brown Girl Banter.
Bye.